It's worth the effort if you do it right. But look at that. My hair now is like bra strap length, when you know my hair is mid-butt length. So that's just the power of curls, man. It's just the power of curls. Hey everyone, I'm Keisha Charmaine and I'm back with another video. It's been a while since I've attempted curls, so I'm really excited to take these rollers out with you guys. Before I get into that, my eyes, I use Jackie Aina's palette, her collaboration with Anastasia Beverly Hills. And on my lips, I just have a goldish, shimmery gloss by Revlon. And every other detail I'll have in the description down below, so definitely check out the description down below. So some of you may have noticed that I have not worn curls in a long time, and the reason is because my hair has gotten so long. It is a pain sometimes to apply the rollers, the drying time, all of that has become a pain as my hair has gotten longer. So I decided I really miss curls, so I'm going to make it work. So I bought some new rollers. I bought the orange perm rods. You may be able to see that I have a few that are like a bit lighter, paler orange, and those are a bit smaller than the brighter orange shade. The orange ones, they actually have the size on there. It said 3/4 of an inch. The pale orange did not have the size on it, but I did notice that it is slightly smaller. And no, I did not have to wrap my hair around itself multiple times for it all to fit. What really is the trick is to squeeze and tighten the lock onto the roller. As you roll it on, push it down so it's tight. And that is also how you make sure your curls last long. A lot of times people complain that when they try curls, they don't last long, so it's not worth the effort. It's worth the effort if you do it right. Okay, so here are some tips to make sure that your curls come out and make sure that they last. Roll your hair on the roller tightly. You have to make sure it's nice and firm and taut and tight, and that is gonna really give definition to the curl. Also, here's another tip. You want to make sure that you are rolling your hair on the rollers with damp hair. If your hair is dry, it may come out, but it'll probably drop throughout that same day. I recommend that you do it on freshly washed hair so that your hair is thoroughly damp, because you don't want it to be dripping wet, because if your hair is dripping wet, you are likely to develop mildew. So towel dry your hair and then apply the rollers on dampened hair. Another tip, I like to take advantage of artificial heat and air drying. Consider the length and thickness of your locks. If your hair is thick or if it's long, you may want to dry your hair longer. That may mean that you're sitting under the dryer longer, or that may mean that you're just keeping the rollers in longer, as far as if you're walking around your house or your neighborhood air drying your hair. If you don't have a hooded dryer, you can always buy a hood attachment for your blow dryer. So that is an easy way to distribute the heat throughout your hair without having to literally sit under a dryer. Also, consider the size of your rollers when making your curls. Besides the fact that the size of the roller will determine the size of your curl, for instance, a smaller roller will create a tighter curl and a larger roller will create a more bouncy curl, even a wave. Consider that when it comes to making your curls, because if your hair is shorter and you're using a larger roller, it may not last as long because you don't have enough hair to create the full effects of that bounce. So you may want to stick to smaller, tighter curls because that's what your hair can accommodate. Here's another tip when it comes to sleeping, or when it comes to you being in the house and you're not trying to show off your curls. Put your hair in a hairnet and then put it in a bonnet. The hairnet will keep your hair nice and secure so that it's not, subject to your movement, which is going to aid in your hair dropping. You don't want the curls to drop prematurely. If you're in the house, you know, yes, you look nice in the house, but you really want to look nice when you go out. So I recommend that you put a net on while you're in the house, put a bonnet on as well, and that will keep your hair nice and secure. Here's another tip. If your curls are not lasting, then maybe you're putting too many locks on your roller. I recommend 1 to 2 locks per roller if you have a traditional size lock like mine. If your locks are thicker than mine, then I absolutely recommend 1 lock per roller. If your locks are thinner than mine, if you have like micro locks, then definitely you're gonna want to use multiple. But if you have maybe pencil size locks or anything thinner than that, then you may want to use 3. So consider the size of your locks when it comes to how many rollers you're using and how many locks you put on each roller. Another tip, make sure your hair is fully dried before you take off the rollers, before you take out the rollers. If your hair is damp, you're just gonna ruin your style, and you may have the curls today, tomorrow, but they're gonna drop really, really fast. Make sure your hair is really dry before you take out your rollers. Now when it comes to moisturizing my hair and maintaining it while I still have the curls, so I tend to keep my curls for 2 weeks max, because that's how often I wash my hair. My curls would absolutely last longer than that if I didn't wash them, but I wash my hair religiously every 2 weeks, so that's when my curls end. But I still like to moisturize my hair in that 2-week period, but I don't mist it. I don't mist it. You can lightly mist it if the lasting of your curl is not too big of a concern, but I prefer not to mist it because that would help my hair drop, and I don't want it to drop, especially as my hair's gotten longer, there's more weight, so it'll drop more easily because of the weight of my lock. Instead, I still use my oils. Of course, I use my horsetail leaf growth oil to promote strength, shine, growth, of course, and I do the scrunching method, which I'll show you guys when I take these out. Don't let your hair get wet in the shower. Make sure you are covering your hair completely. Make sure it's nice and firm, because the steam could even affect how your hair drops. So before you get in the shower, try putting it in the hairnet, putting on the scarf, tying it firmly before putting on a shower cap. And my last tip, which applies to girls like me who have really, really long locks and you are struggling with applying your locks to the rollers, consider sizing up, okay? That's what I had to do to be able to apply my rollers to my locks. Size up in a roller. With all that being said, now it's time for me to unravel. Before I get off of here, I'm going to show you how I unravel them. Oh yeah, here's a really good tip too. A lot of us get impatient when it comes to taking our rollers out of our hair. Be patient, because your patience can determine if your locks will have a lasting curl. Okay? Watch how I unravel mine. A lot of people like to pull it out. And honestly, if you can pull it out with ease, then you probably didn't even apply your lock to the roller as tight as you could. So that means you're probably not getting the most defined results, and you're probably not getting the most long-lasting results either. So make sure you are wrapping your lock around the roller tightly. But you saw how I just unraveled it. I'll do it again. Okay, taking my time, spinning it around. Okay, now I will be back. So I wanted to come back before I quite finished, because I wanted to remind you guys that it's really good to have oil on your fingertips as you're taking off your rollers. This is a tip that I've provided in a previous curl video, or maybe a braid out video. But I was just reminded of it because I just went on Instagram Live really quickly. I was just on live, so make sure you follow me on Instagram at Keisha Charmaine. And yeah, I rarely go live, but I'm trying to go live more often. So I really like engaging with the people. Like, you guys may notice I like to respond to comments down below, so definitely leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the curls or whatever. I'll likely get back to you. But yes, that's just an easy way to oil your hair when you have oil on your hands already, when you're taking out your rollers. But of course, I recommend the scrunching technique, which I will show you in just a bit. So I'm back and I am finished taking out all of the rollers. Did I miss any? No, this is all of it. At this point, I could separate the ones that I use 2 at a time. I usually don't do that at once. I usually do that once it starts to drop a little bit. And the reason why I usually wait till it starts to drop a little bit is because sometimes it can be just too much volume. But hey, whatever, just turn up the volume. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But it'll take me too long to sit here and do that for you guys. But I'm gonna just demonstrate my scrunching method. And of course, I'm using my horsetail leaf growth oil. It's not just an oil for growth. Of course, it's great for growth with all of its ingredients being highly rich in silica and selenium, which help for hair growth and hair strengthening. But it's also good for shine. It's also really good for shine. So it's also a good oil to mix with water in your little spray bottle, which I don't really recommend using on your curls. Don't use the water mix unless you don't care how fast your hair drops, that is. But yeah, I like to put it on after take out the rollers so that it's nice and shiny and strengthening, you know. It doesn't just strengthen your new growth on your scalp, it also strengthens your strands. And remember to be gentle with them. Being gentle with it also helps the curls last longer. But look at that, my hair now is like bra strap length, when you know my hair is mid-butt length. So that's just the power of curls, man. That's just the power of curls. Now I'm gonna show you how I like to wrap it up when I'm going to bed or going in the shower, okay? Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and remember to subscribe. You can always visit www.keishacharmaine.com for hair growth products, hair accessories, and more. But don't leave just yet. Check out my featured video and my latest video.